in 1 second. All right, Atlanta Startup Convos, Karen, take it away.
All right, good morning, everybody. JC, I need your energy in my life like every day, please.
You have it, you're good.
It was a great way to start. Good to see some familiar faces on here. So hello and good morning. I'm going to share my screen with everybody. I'm excited to share more about what we're building at Infinite Giving. All right, JC, we good?
We are good.
Perfect. All right. Well, good morning. My name is Karen Houghton. I'm the founder and CEO of Infinite Giving, and we have created a modern investing experience for nonprofits. So what is Infinite Giving? We're the first robo-advisor that allows for entity investing. So if you think about Wealthfront or Betterment or Schwab Intelligent Portfolios, robo-advising has been beautiful and proven for over a decade, but it only allows for retail customers like you or I to invest. So we're a registered investment advisor that created this first robo-advisor. Ultimately, our investment software is leveraging ETFs and index funds in diversified and rebalanced portfolios. So really it's about providing democratized access to expert investing with reduced fees and increased giving. If you don't know it, nonprofits actually have the 5th largest economy in the world if they were a country. And what that means is that kind of footprint, nonprofits can't just raise money, they have to actually manage it as well. Yet they don't often have that expertise. So they try to outsource it. And when they outsource it, these are the problems that they run into. They're not big enough for large institutions. They don't meet the minimums. They often end up paying significantly high management fees, especially if you're a smaller to mid-sized nonprofit, you're paying massively high fees. It's a very manual and painful process, and it's not industry specific. So none of that is made for nonprofits specifically. The good news is that Infinite Giving makes investing feel easy with the same expertise. You can actually open a brokerage account in minutes, not weeks. That means we are more efficient, more affordable, and made for nonprofits, so we can give them a very curated and specialized experience. We were recently recognized by Fast Company for world-changing software. This is our team. I'm excited to show you our product. Special shout out Seth Radman, my co-founder and CTO, and of course, Connor Ford, our senior engineer who's helped build this. Our business model is pretty straightforward. We are a flat AUM as an investment advisor. So it's 85 bips or 0.85% of assets under management. And on October 1st, we're introducing a gifting page subscription that I'll be able to show you for $199 a month. These are some of our customers, including most recently World Relief. We have some pretty good traction. So we've raised about $1 million. We have closed our first 20 clients and we have over 3 million in AUM. All right, that was quick. JC was like, get it all in a minute. So I'm going to show you guys how it works. All right, so what I'm going to do is log in here. And we have dual authentication. So I'm checking my phone for my code. All right, welcome to your Infinite Giving dashboard. So if you think about online banking or any investment banking, this should feel pretty straightforward. You have your dashboard here that actually shows you your total portfolio. Of course, you can see 1 month, 1 year, all. You have your overview here, your returns, total earned, and of course your net deposits. And you can scroll down. And even though we are robo-advising, our clients need a lot of personal touch. So of course we have their investment advisor they can contact and make an appointment directly through their portal. They can see multiple accounts. So usually nonprofits will have reserve funds, capital campaigns, endowments. And these would be examples of you're looking at your overall dashboard, but of course you can scroll down and you can also click into any of these to see those particular earnings and returns. And of course, what they're actually being invested in. So each of these different accounts in your dashboard can be invested at different allocations with different risk profiles. It's also super easy to open a new account. I mentioned the ease that you can open a brokerage account. If you've never tried it as an entity investing is kind of a whole different ballgame, especially when you're a nonprofit. There's a lot of anti-money laundering. We live in the compliance world. It's not a super fun place to be, but there's a lot of requirements. And so the fact that we are able to easily create an investment account, and they're literally able to open an endowment, a growth fund, or even reserve fund in just minutes. So it's really easy to walk through that process. We don't have time to do it all with you, but it's completely digital. Takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes for an entity to open a brokerage account on their end, roughly 3 to 5 business days on our end, and they can start investing. Without Infinite Giving, it often can take up to 4 to 6 weeks, has multiple papers, faxes, wet ink, a very, very traditional and painful process. In here, we always talk about transferring funds. We think it's really important for nonprofits to be able to access their reserve funds for emergencies or capital campaigns as needed. So we make it really easy for them to do ACH transfers and or to send a wire or receive a wire in here. So when they're talking about, a lot of financial decisions are about fear. And I'm like, hey, if you need your money 24/7, go to transfer funds, you have that accessible to you. So we make that really easy. We also allow multiple users and roles in here. So anybody that they want, if you think about board members, investment committees, finance committees, major gifts folks, so they can add a new user. It's super easy. They can do an email, first name, last name, and they can choose the role and what kind of access you would like. We actually even have a donor view, which is really cool. So we allow named endowments. And if you were to have a named endowment, you actually get your own portal where you get to log in and you get to add stock gifts and cash gifts really easily to your portal. So we went over transfer funds. Of course, you can see all sorry about that. You can see all activity here, where they can look through accounts and see fees and such taken. And of course, you have documents in here where we do all your monthly statements, your quarterly reports. We do quarterly board reports that are automated that they can pass out to the board. And of course, tax documents and trade confirmations. So this is all that investment side of things, right? If you have a Wealthfront account or Betterment account or Schwab, any of those, it should look pretty straightforward with some different unique touches. Then we have, because we serve nonprofits specifically, we have our donation section. We allow nonprofits to easily and quickly automate stock gifting, crypto gifting, and endowment gifting. And this is important because this is where your large asset gifts come from. Stock gifts average are around $8,000 right now through our portal. Our stock gifts are averaging about $42,000 per gift. Crypto gifts average about $10,000. And endowments, we do micro endowments and quasi endowments, which average start at $25K. So the gifting page is really unique and it allows asset giving. So if you think about any of your favorite organizations, usually go to donate, it only asks for cash. But when you're kind of looking at diversifying and growing your donors, how do you get these kind of high wealth donors to give in meaningful ways? And too often they say, hey, go sell those stocks, convert it to cash, pay the taxes, and then whatever's left, give it to the organization. There's just a lack of education around it, where it's actually the most tax efficient way to give to your favorite organization by gifting stocks directly, and the same with crypto. So you avoid paying long-term capital gains taxes, and then your organization, of course, gets a larger gift, and you also get the benefit of that gift. So we make that easy through your gifting page. They get to brand it. It's all white labeled. So they can put their name in there, they can choose their color, they get their description text in there. And of course they do the logo, and they get to choose what they want to enable or not. So between gift stock, crypto, endowments, or gifting cash. Currently, this is going to be an MVP, so we're not doing cash yet. That's something we could do, but most of them already have that set up. And then they would just click save changes, and you can actually view a gifting page. It's unique in that it has a URL, so it makes it really easy for them to link to any button that they have. And this is what it would look like. So making a donation to United Way, you can now see what it looks like. They've been able to choose all of these things. And then we've automated the stock and the crypto. So super straightforward. Gifting stock has a really easy way. You can see that it's white labeled for them there. They get to fill this out. And And then they actually get an automated email that talks them through the process. So actually, JC, keep me on time. I can,
Well,
do I need to go ahead
I
and
was just
stop?
talking about how amazing this looks, and you'll see in the chats about how amazing this looks. It's great to see all the progress. Wow, it looks so easy. You're right, Seth. I love the
Yeah, shout out to Seth
yeah.
Radman for creating a beautiful product. So right there, that was super easy, right? It took
Yes.
2 minutes. There's no, usually it's like, hey, you got to call your guy and then you got to download a PDF and then do wet ink. So right here, that was really straightforward. And the beauty of that, let's see, my Zoom is up there. So the beauty of that right there is that they now get an email sent to them. So that's automated. So once it's in writing, it means they just click forward to their broker and they're able to gift that there. And then when you go to, if I can see in here, and you go down to stocks, there's a huge transparency issue with stock gifting for higher ed, everybody. So we break it down individually as well. So it's like, hey, I'm just having a relationship. I don't want to do a donate page for a big donor. Then you can just go directly into stock donations, copy that link and send it in a personal email. Say, hey, thank you so much, JC, for your generous gift. Like, we've made it really easy for you. Go here. But you can also see that there's complete transparency into who's given you stock donations. And this seems really basic, but if you're in the nonprofit world, it's like really groundbreaking, because it's all the time. It's like you have huge, 20-person development teams, and it's like, we got a tranche of 50K and no one knows who or where it came from. Crypto works the same way. We actually we did a partnership with Gemini, and we actually created their own wallet so they can send it their wallet. And again, there's complete transparency again to who give. Look, Connor Ford gave 30 Bitcoin. And lastly, I know we're going really quick, but we also have done the same thing where you actually have a really unique opportunity, if I can see with my thing, where endowment gifting is also automated. Endowment gifting would usually be very, very expensive and a big, long process. We've allowed it to where a donor can gift an endowment in roughly about 10 minutes. We handle all the legal, it's completely free. So I know I went a little long, but that is a brief view into our product.
No, this was so good to see. I want to rewatch that whole thing, and it was a great demo. I love seeing the full progress. I've loved seeing that. There are a few questions in the chat. So maybe Karen, you could just go ahead and answer those.
Yeah.
Just for sake of time. And I know you're on to the next thing soon, but if you like to connect with any of us, if you would, or if you're looking to connect, I know there's a couple questions about what would be helpful. What are your typical customers? How long do they have to be? So maybe you could spend a little bit of time in that before you head on to the next. And we just appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's fun to share. I just dropped my email in the chat. So Karen@infiniteGiving.com. We love speaking to nonprofit leaders, but also board members. So clearly in this community, I'm sure lots of you are on boards. And so that's often our in. We talk to the CFOs, the director of finance, sometimes the executive directors, investment committees, board members. There's a lot of important players in nonprofits, which is part of our challenge. But we are targeting small to mid-sized nonprofits. So we can and would love to serve $100 million clients, but we're small, and we believe that the small to mid-sized nonprofits are underserved. So we're currently defining that as under 20 million in AUM. Great. Yeah. Well, so, and for the small folks, sometimes we talk to people, we're like, we have 100K and we want to hedge against inflation. And we know the only way to do that is to get into the market, but we can't get any banks to call us back. We can't even open a brokerage account. And that's where, when we talk about democratizing access to investment, it's so important that there's equal opportunity to have good access to financial and investment opportunities for the organizations we love the most. And so we've been able to do that in addition to growing their asset giving. Awesome. Great. All of this information is so helpful, Karen. Hopefully you or Seth can talk more to the crypto in the comments, and we will turn it over to Sam next. And thank you, Karen, for joining. Thank you. All right, Sam, if you want to turn your screen on, we will invite you up next, and we'll keep on going with VoiceWorx.
All right, I will do that.
There we go.
Let me go to presenter mode here. All right, can you see my screen?
We can. Yes, you're all set.
All right, let's just go ahead. So yeah, let me make sure my video is on. Okay, all
Yep.
right, so I'm Simon Ejikon with VoiceWorx.ai. We are an AI-powered intelligent assistant platform. And what that means is we've created an AI platform that allows us to train digital brains. And those digital brains can power a variety of experiences, ranging from smart devices like Alexa or Siri, to contact centers, and to digital humans in the metaverse, which is an evolving platform space for us. So anyway, let's see if I can really get this working. So what are the two markets that we're really focused on? So the virtual assistant market is a huge market that we are targeting. And more recently, we've started seeing immersive experiences needing voice and conversational assistants. That's the second space that we're focused on, which is how do you have not only humans in the metaverse, but how do you have digital humans that can operate and interact and engage in the metaverse? So what does our platform look like? This is our platform in the middle here. So we build the digital brain. And in conversational AI, digital brains have to do what you call natural language processing. So we integrate with the biggest players out there, IBM, Amazon, and Google. But on one side, we interact with various metaverse channels, right? So if you create an assistant, for example, that can book an appointment, you can then publish that assistant to different worlds, right? Or you could also publish it for access over a telephone, right? Or chat, or you could publish it to a smart device. Now, the data and the engagement that's actually happening in those digital assistants, a lot of times have to come from backend systems like Salesforce, Zendesk, or databases that you already have. Our platform makes this entire process no code. So before now, only highly technical people can build these types of solutions. As our platform makes it easy for anybody to create an account, log in, and build a digital assistant. So I'm going to show an example here of one of the assistants created using our platform. And this is a digital human that's basically being powered by the VoiceWorx platform. This is one of the channels that we support. So I'm going to get into a video here of my partner demoing it, and then we'll go into our platform and actually see how do we create the training and the AI behind this assistant.
I think we're not able to hear what he's saying. If you could explain just what he's saying. It worked earlier, but maybe in full screen.
Let me share. Oh yeah, that's a shame. Usually I share my audio in Zoom.
I know it worked earlier, so we know this was working, everybody.
Anyway, so basically he's having an interaction with the digital assistant, asking questions using voice, and she's responsive. Right. It's such a shame. Let me go ahead and actually demo the actual platform, and then we'll come back to look at the video, and maybe we'll get it figured out by then.
Sounds good.
So this is what our platform looks like, right? So you register for an account, or you log in, you come in here and you say, okay, I want to create an intelligent assistant that can represent my brand, that can represent my, maybe my audience, or that I want to use on my smart devices. So I will come in and either create an app, and within the app, I can have different, types of capabilities. I can have connections to different platforms. That's what our enterprise connections are. I can also create apps from what we call blueprints. So let's say you want to create an assistant to help you book appointments, right? You would just come in here and you would search for, appointment booking, right? And you would pick this appointment booking assistant and basically create a copy of it in your own account. And then once you've done that, you then go ahead. And so this will actually take me to the process of creating the assistant. I would then go ahead and say, I want to publish this to a channel. So channels for us are the different ways in which people can experience your assistant. So I could say, I want to publish this to Alexa. I want to publish it to a contact center. I want to publish this to Microsoft Slack or Teams, or even like a virtual human. So once you publish to one of these channels, you can then decide that I want to connect this assistant to, my enterprise system. So I could pick one of these. We've got lots of different systems here where you can get data from, right? So, Office 365, Amazon platforms, Salesforce, with SQL Server. You could connect to any of these places where your data might be residing. And then once you do that, then you go ahead and then publish the assistant. So let me pull up some of the ones that I already have here. And then once you publish the assistant, you can then start interacting with it through the different channels. So let me see here. MBA assistant, that's the one I was demoing. So if I go to publish, so let's say I've already created this, I can then decide that I want to publish it to maybe like a chat channel. So I can publish to one of the different channels here, but let me go to test. Let's say I've already published this, so it's already in place. I could then start having interactions with it. I could ask it, questions, right? So I could say, who is Michael Jordan? Let me make sure I get my spellings right. The same experience that I have here, where it's able to get me answers to different questions on which it's been trained on. That's the same experience I would have, with the digital human. Whether I use voice or I use text, I speak to a smart device.
It looks like Jeremiah has the video queued up if you want to try, and he can say that he can share that exact thing you just kind of did from the voice perspective. If you stop sharing, Jeremiah, you can share, and let's hope it works. That way people can see this awesome thing y'all have done. He said he had it queued up, so.
Okay. Yeah, let me share the right screen.
Great.
All right. And you guys just let me know if you can see my screen and hear the audio. So over to our presentation.
Perfect.
You hear the audio?
Yep, we're good to go.
Okay.
Of this digital human. Now, again, this digital human can be presented on your website or in the metaverse. So think about use cases where you're interacting with your users in the metaverse and you want to have multiple agents to kind of answer their questions. So let's ask it a couple of questions here. Who is Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan holds the record for the most points scored in a single NBA playoffs game. He dropped 63 points against the Boston Celtics during a game in the 1986 playoffs. Unfortunately, the Bulls lost the game 135 to 131. How else can I help you?
You see that same fulfillment was coming from that leg spot that's pulling it from the VoiceWorx platform. Let's try another one. Tell me about Don Nelson.
Don Nelson holds the record for the most coaching wins in NBA history. Nelson won 1335 games with the Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, Dallas Mavericks, and the Golden State Warriors. How else can I help you?
All right, I'll stop there. So Sam, you want to continue?
Sure. Right. So yeah, so basically, the whole idea is simplifying this whole space, which has been a really difficult challenge for companies to build assistants that can interact via different channels. So that's the problem we're really solving. So if you're a brand, if you're Coca-Cola, and you want to design your own digital assistant that maybe has your brand persona, not only in terms of look, but also in terms of intelligence that can answer questions to your customers. It almost kind of be like a customer service agent or customer support agent or just brand informational agent. We're able to build that on our platform, and we're able to do all of that without you having to be a developer. And all you have to do is just go to our platform, sign up, right? Create an account, pick one of our already pre-built assistants, deploy it, and you get a link or a URL that you can start sharing, or you can put on your website to drive customer interaction. We're also seeing uses of this in engaging internal employees. So during COVID, there was a lot of people going kind of remote, right? So we're seeing customers that are using this to kind of be a way to engage lots of employees around HR requests. I need to know what's going on with my benefits. I need to understand, how do I sign up for XYZ? How do I put in for my leave? So our platform is able to connect to all the different enterprise systems and basically allow you to drive engagement with employees or drive engagement with customers. And we really simplify that whole process, and also allow you to use the data that you already have within your enterprise without spending a lot of money building or creating really complex and really large IT projects. So I'll pause there and
yeah. Sam, this looks amazing. Jeremiah, y'all, this looks so fun. I'm excited to I'd probably go check out the site. I know Jeremiah put it in the chat. And he's answering. You've got a couple questions there. And for the sake of time, I'll have you guys also connect in the chat just about the NLP process, getting the pricing, etc. So, but this was really great to see. I enjoyed seeing it both in the text and the actual video. And if you guys are around, hopefully you can put your contact or LinkedIn if you're looking to connect in the chat as well. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate it. And next we are going to keep on keeping on with Andy. Awesome. He's on cue. Welcome. I will go ahead and let you take it away.
Awesome. Well, thanks, JC. Super excited to be here. I've known JC is one of the first people I met when I moved to Atlanta 8 years ago, way back in the day. So I've known JC and John for a long time. Really happy to be here and to be presenting today. We'll jump in and share my screen, talk a little bit about what I'm up to, our company, which is called Bottle, and then we'll do a quick demo and then let everyone get on their way. So jumping right in, I am the co-founder of a company called Bottle. We are a e-commerce platform for local brands. And just checking everyone can see my screen. We're good. Okay, I'll assume that we're good. And we really help local brands sell their product everywhere. So if you think about a local brand, and if you zero in, we specifically primarily focus on the food space right now. We all know what a grocery store is, and we all know what a restaurant is. We don't service either of those. But if you walk up and down the aisle of your Publix or Kroger or Whole Foods, you'll notice all these amazing local brands that are featured. And all of those brands are not only selling into the grocery store, and most of the time they're not selling into grocery stores at all, but they're selling at farmers markets, they're selling wholesale, they're at your local coffee shop, they're on Uber Eats. And for these brands, the problem that Bottle solves is really twofold. We help them get more distribution, which means more revenue, and we help them unify their ordering in one place. So if you just look at this chart and you think about, here are all the different levers that a local food vendor or a local brand is managing, it gets quite complex and it becomes a web of complexity. And we try and simplify that web into one simple online platform. In terms of the actual thing that we do, we provide a software platform very similar to Shopify, where a brand can set up a store, take orders, communicate with customers, and manage their backend all in one place. And none of the existing e-commerce platforms really focus on this local space, especially when it comes to selling across multiple channels and to launching recurring purchases, and at the same time creating an easy way for these brands to communicate with customers and capture repurchases again and again. So it's a really straightforward product in terms of what we do and the problem that we solve. We've been working on this for 6 years, so it's actually quite a challenging problem to solve in terms of building the tech and going to market. In terms of progress and team, I'm one of the co-founders. We're a team of 11. We've raised a little over $2 million. Our first 5 years, we were bootstrapped. We have a little bit over 200 vendors on the platform. We're growing at like 10% month over month right now. And we'll process for all of our vendors over $30 million in GMV, which is like their sales combined on our platform. So with that, I'll jump into a quick demo. I'm going to walk you through the front end, what it's like to order as a customer, and then I'll also walk you through the back end so we can see the dashboard and how this helps brands just really, really simplify their day-to-day and have one place to manage their business. So who are our customers who do we serve today and who will we ultimately serve? Today, we serve mostly food brands, like I mentioned. If you're selling bread at a farmer's market, if you're doing meal delivery, if you are selling bagels or really have any passion for selling a local food product and you want to sell that again and again, Bottle is the platform for you. We've just expanded our market. We now have flower sellers and retail shops on our platform as well that are looking to capture more repeat purchases. This is an actual vendor in Denver. It's called Bread Club. It's a conglomerate of 6 different brands. Some of the best known bakery brands across the Denver area have come together and created a Bread Club on Bottle. What's so cool about Bottle is that we're really built to help our brands capture a better business model. The on-demand model is really great for revenue, but profitability, it really hurts. So the Uber Eats and DoorDash and Caviar, they take close to 25 to 30% of marketplace orders. So where Bottle comes in is we actually help brands operate on a pre-ordering model so that someone can place an order on Tuesday and it can be delivered on Thursday. And just operating with this kind of batch delivery model creates amazing unit economics for a local food brand. So as you can see here, you can either opt into the Bread Club, or you can place a Rosh Hashanah pre-order, or you can buy a gift card, all from the vendor's dashboard. The other thing that we do that's pretty unique is once you order once with Bottle, we're going to send you a text every week. You're going to click that link, open up that link, and you're going to place an order. It's important to note that our brands maintain their own property. Bottle itself is just the platform. There's no, we're not a central marketplace. We give the brands their own e-commerce platform. So let's go through a quick order here. So I click into Bread Club, and the first thing that they're going to ask me is, where am I picking up my food? We allow for complete customization of the ordering experience. So if the vendor wanted, they could drop me into a menu, or they can ask you where you're going to get your food. This is really important because a lot of vendors have a lot of complexity around the types of orders and the different types of way that they take an order. So if you're a wholesale customer, like a cafe buying the bread, you might have a totally different menu and pricing scheme than a consumer buying the bread. And so in this case, the vendor's asking where you're going to pick it up because they're probably going to present you with different menu options and different types of delivery options as well. So you can also easily change your day that you pick things up, and the first available day you'll see here is Saturday. So obviously I click next. And what's really cool is that everything we do is optimized for mobile. The vendor can have these full bleed images that feels very Instagram-like, really easy to navigate across the page and pick different vendors that you might want to purchase from. The other thing that we're always optimizing for is, can we help somebody create a better cart value? So one of the things that we offer is a thing called pricing tiers. So the more that you add to your cart, the bigger the discount you get. Let's just add a few items to our cart. And then once we've added our items to our cart and we're ready to check out, it's a pretty straightforward process. We validate our token with text because everything we do is over text. So grab that token. And we only ask for this token upon the first time you log in. We have the whole question and answer system built into the platform for full customization of what any vendor might want. So it might ask for, do you have gift card notes? Do you have delivery notes? Is there anything we should know? So that the vendor can then collect those notes on the back end and take note of that as they're making their deliveries. The only other thing to note here is that our whole platform is built around this idea that you're going to have an ongoing relationship with your customer. So whether you're selling bread or pita chips or local meals, right? These are things that we consume. And so we want to have that ongoing relationship with the customer. And what's really cool is we can also turn on an Amazon Prime like membership for the business. So these vendors, actually, we have a number of vendors who offer like a plus option where you get free delivery if you pay them a certain fee a month. So all of a sudden a food brand is now able to actually capture like non-food revenue, which is 100% pure margin. And of course we power subscriptions, one-time orders, and everything we're doing here in the membership levels to try and increase repeat purchases for the vendor, which is a huge challenge if you're a local brand. So that's our front end, a really streamlined, simple ordering experience with a lot of complexity baked in to the actual back end. I'm just going to take 1 minute to walk through the back end. I think it's a pretty easy to use dashboard. So at the heart of what we do is text messaging. So we really help vendors sell by text. And so if you were to click on this conversation here, you can see that I'm getting reminders every week to place my order. And then also we can send messages from this dashboard, and we of course have an iOS app. And so I can say, hey, and then I could text back any message I want. So I'll just text back, and that's coming from my mobile device. In terms of analytics, one of the biggest challenges our vendors face is actually collating and processing their orders. Like I said, they're getting orders from all sorts of different places. And so we help them collate their orders in one easy to use dashboard. And then setting up your store is pretty straightforward. And then we have a ton of automation as well. And so we really try and help our vendors save time through our reporting and our automation. So what we've built, to sum it up, is a platform for local food vendors to easily take orders, communicate with customers, and manage their business all in one place. And we're in the process of actually expanding into retail and to other local food brands to help them go beyond the four walls of their business to start capturing subscription revenue. And that's it.
That's awesome. Andy, this is so great. It's always good to see the progress and where you've been. As you said, we have known each other for quite some time. So that's excellent. You do have a couple questions here. I want to be mindful of time. So if you want to maybe answer this in the chat for everyone while we kind of do a wrap up, talking about the business, the back end, buyer, be it buyer or seller, also go to market. If there's any other questions, y'all, please pop it in. And Andy, if you are looking to connect with folks, how do we connect with you? What are some of your asks right now? You can put that in the chat or share real quick.
I'll just share real quick. You can just email me if you have any questions or there's anything I can do to help anyone here. It's andy@bottle.com. In terms of what we're hoping for, honestly, if you know someone who's starting up a food brand or looking to grow their food brand, if you just send them to bottle.com, we would love have more vendors on our platform to share what we're doing, because we're seeing it help so many people every day.
That's
Those are my 2 asks.
Great. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining. I am going to let you answer a few more questions in the chat, and then I will go ahead and share my video. Just share my screen real quick. We've got 1 minute. I know we don't have time for needs and leads. So if anyone has it, feel free to drop some links in the chat. I'll stay here for a few more minutes if anyone wants to. But of course, as a reminder, we do Atlanta Healthcare Entrepreneurship Meetups, and that is coming up on the 5th of October. We have tons of events like this. We've already got another group of fantastic founders lined up for the following Atlanta Startup Convos, so stay tuned for that. And of course, we publish a weekly podcast on our, you can subscribe at Apple. There's a link there if you want, or Spotify. It's all the places you listen to, but Five and Thrive is a quick 5-minute download of all the things happening, hosted by our own John Birdsong. And listen, subscribe if you want. Shameless plug there. And of course, stay tuned for the next. If you guys want to stay here for a few minutes, I will be here. But if not, thank you, Karen, Andy, and Sam, and Jeremiah for being here, and Seth, of course. And we will see you guys next time.